Okay, so before I go any further with changing out the extruder, I want to go ahead and do my heat test. So what I've done is I've heated up to 200 degrees Celsius, and it's been nearly 20 minutes now. Now I have two ways of doing this. Unfortunately, one way is with this probe thermometer that's meant for a barbecue pit. The only thing is, here in America we go by Fahrenheit, so I'll have to do the calculations after the fact. It doesn't have a way of changing it to Celsius. I do have an infrared thermometer that I'm going to try first, and I'll set it for Fahrenheit for now, and then I'll do it again with Celsius. The only problem with an infrared thermometer is it's got the laser up here, it's got the actual sensor down here, which means this close to it, if I poke it right and put the laser right on that nozzle, it's only showing me 67 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, which I know for a fact isn't right. That's the temperature of the room, pretty much. Okay, so I'm going to start it at the nozzle. Let me take it down lower. You can see the. Let me change my camera angle. Okay, so I've changed my camera angle. So now, when I poke that, you'll see it's 67 degrees. As I move up, you'll see the temperature climb. So I'm guessing it's on the nozzle right about there. As it climbs, so it reaches over 200 degrees. A little bit higher. So 200 Fahrenheit was the maximum. Then it starts dropping after that, so I'm guessing now it's detecting the nozzle throat. If I switch it over to Celsius, the maximum temperature I'm going to get is 93.2 is the highest it went. So let's go ahead and try it with this thermometer. I'll hold it right here. I'm going to touch the probe up against the nozzle itself. Okay, so it looks like we've stabilized. It's went to 177, 176, and this is Fahrenheit. 174, so now it's cooling back down a little bit. I'm just going to move the probe a little bit one way or another to see if I've hit the sweet spot as far as the temperature. And it looks like I have. Looks like right there is going to be the sweet spot. It's going to be right back up to about 177. Oh, there we go, 181. Okay, so 183 is going to be the max. Okay, so that is the temperature of the nozzle. You see once I take it away, it starts dropping. So now I'm going to take a measurement from this nut. It's right at the base of the nozzle throat. It's at the top of the hot end. Okay, and just as I would expect, it's going to top out at about the same temperature as the nozzle. Since both of them are in direct contact with the hot end, that makes complete sense. But now my question is, what's the temperature going to be at the top of the nozzle throat? So 183 looks like this is going to be the standard. So now I'm going to go up to the top, just to where the top of the nozzle throat touches the nut at the very top, at the base of the extruder, and we'll get a temperature reading from there, and then we'll do the same thing on our new hot end to see if those heat sinks actually do anything. Now I do have filament loaded into it. I'm sure the filament transfers heat, so I wanted to give it the best chance I can to get a decent temperature reading on it. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we have stabilized at about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what we're going to be looking to see if at 200 degrees Celsius on the hot end, is that temperature going to be less, more, or the same as the 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Once again, I'll go through and I'll figure out exactly what that is in Celsius. Okay, with that out of the way, it's time to start playing. So I'm going to start taking this apart, and I'll see you at the end of the time lapse. Hey guys, so here I am. I've got the new extruder hooked up to the machine. I fired it up. I have it set for 200 degrees. It will hit close to 200. It bounces back down. It bounces back up, but it will not set solely on 200. And my guess is that the heat sink is actually doing its job of sucking the heat away from the hot end. I've tried wrapping Kapton tape around the hot end to try to insulate it from the fans, thinking that might be the issue. It upped it by a degree or so, but not by much. Right now it just barely hit 201, and then here a little bit it'll bounce back down, it'll bounce back up. So what I want to check now is I want to check the temperature at the top. Now in the previous test, I was coming up at 80 degrees Fahrenheit up there at the top nut where it touches the base plate of the extruder. So that's where I'm going to put my probe, and I want to see what this turns out. And if it's at 80 degrees or higher, then I'm just going to scrap the idea for now. Let's see, am I up against it? Yeah, I'm up against it. Okay, so I'm already at 80 degrees, so I'm already defeated. It didn't do anything different. 82. Okay, so the idea is scrapped. So what it is sucking the heat up the nozzle throat away from the extruder. So unfortunately the heat sink's doing its job differently than I imagined it would. I even added a fiber washer at the base of it, trying to keep it away from the hot end itself, and it's not making a difference. It did allow it to get a little bit closer. Like right now it's staying at 200. As soon as I load filament in it, it'll start just jumping all around. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this extruder. I'm just going to change out the nozzle throat to another one I have on hand, and just switch out that part with the aluminum portion of it and get the printer back working again. How's that go? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, this pretty much proved that point. Okay, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, we have it back together. So this is the new extruder, and I had to change out the nozzle throat without the washers on it. It's the new hot end, and let's see now if it'll reach temperature. Let's see, we'll go to control, temperature, nozzle. Let's just crank it up to 200. Back to control, main, info screen. And let's see if she climbs. Okay, so far so good. Looks like it's climbing. So that means it didn't ruin anything on the thermistor and on the heater. So let's see if she climbs up to 200. Okay, so we are now at 200. It climbed, it dropped just a hair, and then went right back up to 200. So we should be good. So let me go ahead and load some filament in it. Every time I load filament, I clip it at an angle like that, so it's got a sharp end to it, and just kind of straighten it a little bit. And after you play with it for a while, you learn how to fish it right in the hole. Okay, so it came right on out. Temperature is holding at 200. I extrude a little bit more. Temperature staying at 200. Okay, so it looks like I'm back in business. I'll have to rewrap all my wires. This time I think I'm going to go with a heat shrink tubing. Get this set all taken care of, and then eventually I'll take my old extruder. I'm going to replace the hot end on it, replace the fan on it, do some, clean up the gears and everything like that. Put another one of these fan setups for it. I might go ahead and go back to a 38mm nozzle throat and play with the fan setup on it, just to see if I can come up with a different fan configuration on it, but we'll see. Well guys, let's do one more thing. Let's just double check the extruder, make sure it's working since it is a new one. Let's see, move axis 1mm, extruder, and yes, it is working. Perfect. Okay, so I know that this is all working. I'll be able to wrap up all the wires. I'm going to use some heat shrink tubing on everything, and hopefully that'll kind of keep everything bound up really nice and tight. And that's going to do it for this. I'll get it all wrapped up. I should have learned my lesson a long time ago. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And it was about a $20–25 mistake, but that's all right. If you don't try, you don't learn, So, oh well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I do have a giveaway planned as soon as I hit 500 subscribers. I believe today I'm at 360, 362, somewhere in there. I haven't looked for several hours now. But anyway, as soon as I hit 500, I do have a giveaway planned. I haven't exactly decided what I want to give away. I think it'll probably be something 3D printed. Don't know exactly, but 3D printed would actually be a pretty good deal to ship out, because I do want to do it as a worldwide, anywhere the United States Post Office delivers. That's where I'll send it. So anyway, I'll get all that figured out. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. I sure appreciate it. Have a great day and take care. Bye.